Notice something, because this is stranger than it sounds. You learn to walk. You learn to talk. You learn to write your own name, and every single one of those things somebody had to teach you, patiently, repeating it 1,000 times. But nobody, at any point in your entire life, ever sat down with you to teach you how to kick. And yet, if an empty can shows up in front of you, right there on the sidewalk, rolling around aimlessly, your urge is only one, immediate, almost involuntary, to send your foot flying into it. Where does that come from? Why does that urge seem like it came pre-installed, factory-fitted inside us, with no manual and no teacher? The obvious answer, the one almost everyone would give without thinking, is, oh, soccer, right? We grow up watching the ball roll. We see dad shouting goal on the couch. We see the whole country come to a halt during a World Cup, the neighbors celebrating, schools letting the kids out. So it sounds totally natural to conclude that we love kicking because soccer exists, that the sport came first and planted this habit in everybody's head, like someone passing along a trend. It makes sense, it's a comfortable explanation, and that's exactly why nobody questions it. Except there's a huge hole in that story, and that's where it gets interesting. Soccer, the way we know it today, with goalposts, a referee, and written rules, is only about 150 years old. It's a recent thing, younger than plenty of cities, younger than plenty of families. And the urge to kick? That one is old, absurdly old, older than any sport that ever existed, older than any ball that was ever stitched together, older even than your own ability to walk, to talk, or to see the world clearly, because, and here's the detail that gives you chills, the first kick of your life you didn't give on a field, or on a court, or in the street. You gave it before you were born, in there, in the absolute darkness of your mother's belly, having never seen a ball, without the faintest idea of what a game, a team, or a goal even is. You were already kicking. And no, that wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a random spasm. It was pure instinct, showing up before any lesson. So the question shifts. If it wasn't soccer that put this in us, where does it actually come from, this urge? Let's go down, layer by layer, because each level reveals something deeper. It starts like this. Long before a baby's brain learns anything about the world, its body already arrives equipped with a set of movements that come ready-made, no training required. And science calls those movements reflexes. They're the ones that make a newborn grip your finger tightly or turn its head searching for food. And among those first reflexes, pushing with the leg, stretching out, thrusting against something, shows up incredibly early. When a baby kicks inside the belly, it isn't trying to play ball, obviously. It's doing something far more basic and far more powerful. It's testing its own body, discovering, for the very first time, that those legs answer to it, that there's a command up top and a reaction down below. It's the first conversation we ever have with our own body. But that opens up another, almost inevitable question. Why the leg of all things? Why did nature pick the foot for this whole party and not the hand? And this is where it gets beautiful, because the answer is written into our evolution. Look at what happened to the human species. At some point way back, our ancestors stood up, started walking on two legs, and that changed everything. The legs became the base that holds up the entire body all day long, and in that process, they became by far the strongest limbs we have. Think about it. It's the legs that push the ground backward so you can walk, that launch you upward in a jump, that carry your weight when you run. Each of your legs is literally a catapult of flesh and bone, with muscles that rank among the largest in the human body. So when the goal is to send something far away, with brute force, with explosive power, guess which tool is the perfect one? Not the delicate hand, built for precision, for gripping and handling. It's the foot, that powerful lever. Kicking, deep down, is just you aiming your strongest catapult outward and firing. But there's still the most addictive piece of this puzzle missing, and it's the one that explains why we don't just kick, but take pleasure in kicking. Pay attention to this secret because it applies to a lot more than soccer. The human brain is completely obsessed with one relationship, the relationship of cause and effect. I do something and the world reacts. I act and the world changes because of me. Every time we notice that an action of ours produced a result out there in the world, the brain releases a little dose of reward, a good feeling that practically begs us to repeat it. And the kick, my friend, is the most perfect cause and effect machine a body can operate. You touch your foot to it, a tiny gesture, almost nothing, and an object goes flying, rolling, shooting off into the distance. From your minuscule movement comes an enormous result, immediate, visible, sometimes even loud. The can shoots off down the sidewalk, the pebble leaps 3 feet ahead, the ball takes off like a rocket. You touched the world, and the world responded right away, no delay, right in front of you. That's literally why children kick absolutely everything that shows up along the way. A dry leaf, a stone, a bottle cap, a plastic bag, sometimes the air itself, and parents think it's just fooling around, that it's excess energy, when in reality, it's that child's brain repeating over and over the most satisfying experiment nature ever invented. Again, do it again. I want to see that thing fly one more time. And now, with all the pieces on the table, flip the switch with me. Soccer didn't create any of this. Soccer didn't plant this urge in anyone. It found it already there, ready, bubbling inside every human being who is born. At some point in our history, humanity looked at this loose instinct, this powerful, ancient, and pleasurable impulse that already lived inside everyone, and had a brilliant idea. What if we gave it rules? A ball of the right size, 2 goalposts, a boundary for the field, a shared objective. Soccer, then, isn't the father of this desire. It's just the well-crafted vase where humanity decided to plant a flower that was already sprouting on its own, in every corner of the planet, with or without a championship. So the next time you cross paths with a can on the street and feel that silly, almost childish urge to give it a kick, stop for a second and remember. This isn't nonsense. It isn't foolishness. It isn't you being childish. It's an ancient instinct, carved into your body before you even breathed your first breath, polished by millions of years of evolution, and still alive, pulsing inside you to this day. You don't love kicking because of soccer. On the contrary, soccer only exists because of people like you. People who came into the world with a foot ready to send things flying and watch delighted to see what happens. And if a simple kick to a can hides a story as deep as this one, just imagine how many other things your body does every single day on autopilot that you have never, not for a single second, stopped to question.